extend it and it comes right up. Oh, here he comes,
Oi, oi.
Mr. Sunshine.
Look at the tan on him. Look at the tan on him.
I'm fucking raging. I can't find my headphones.
It's Club Tropicana, what's happening?
I'm fucking sweating, by the way. I'm fucking sweating. Hold on, I get this.
The man from Del Monte. Paul, you missed it. I done my sneaky ball.
I know, Paul. He's a deposit.
Ah, well, good for him. The last time I get my balls out, I get banned for 3 accounts.
Oh, it's still a rough subject.
Do you want me to do it again? Will make you feel better?
You do it, big man.
We'll get his banned off YouTube though.
Sorry, I'll edit it out. I'll put for no under 18s. You'll be fine.
I won't do it then, just in case. I don't want you getting your podcast banned for my boys.
It's all right. I was recording for the very beginning, so I'll just put that wee bit at the very, very end for just a half a second. People will not be too sure what they saw.
The mico greeting. Boys.
Paul's trying to find his headphones there. I can sense what he's already doing.
Yeah, he wants to sound good.
I'm raging.
He does. This is the thing. He actually said to me, I must be in the studio because I don't sound as nice. Listen to how my voice comes across. It's not as nice, Paula.
It's not as deep.
Paul, talk
Doesn't
to
give
me.
that dulcet tone.
I'm semi, Paul, you're good. You're all right.
That better.
God.
Oh, Paul, I love seeing you in the dark, but I love seeing you in the light even better.
All the women are going to love this. You and Paul together.
Just fucking imagine me, Paul, and Jasper together. Yeesh.
A wet dream.
You never
It's a
know.
wet dream.
Now, me and Paul spoke about getting like a reunion thing on this at some point, didn't we, Paul?
We're going to have a karaoke night.
Oh, yes.
We're going to have a karaoke because Rossi Roscoe, who we had on, he actually suggested it. Remember, we spoke about it and said that was actually a great idea.
Oh,
we've got
Rossi. He's some guy. So
That
yeah,
was
Rossi.
He loves Miko's cousin Jamie. He's got a thing for Jamie.
Does.
He's got a thing. I watch all of Rossi's videos and Jamie gets mentioned in majority of Rossi's videos.
Oh, he doesn't half, man. He does not half.
Aye, he's got him flooding.
Want somebody to uncage the beast? See what I've done there?
Does.
Up to the max.
In fact, he done it. He couldn't get a hold of Jamie for some reason. I don't know what was wrong with him. And so he tagged Paul. Remember Paul?
Aye.
Tagged you and said you'd have to do instead. Second best option.
Aye.
I'm going to lie, baby. I'm not in the best of shapes.
Oh, for fuck's sake, here we go.
You burnt?
No, I'm just fucking. It was so hot, man. It was. I got to 9 minutes, and not where my legs are getting lifted. I was rolling about. I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, hurry up and finish because I literally was about to pass out with the heat.
I'm
Do
just
I
gonna
go topless, Paul? Not go topless, mate?
You allowed to go topless? No, I'm in the street, mate. I'm out in the car. Folk will think I'm a weirdo.
I'm not saying
Windies are
anything.
steamed up, you right?
No, the windies are steamed up. I can see the windy from here.
Fraser, you shut up, right?
Paul, just when you're holding down the windy like that, like for
Aye,
Titanic.
it'll be the Titanic theme.
No, you just gave him about 100
Shake the water
videos.
back and forward.
I thought the Titanic was a boat, not a car.
Ah,
It was
whatever.
a car inside a boat, was it not?
They were doing it
There's
in
a
the
car
water.
in the
The
boat.
windies are steamed up, Paul. Keep me it.
Aye, she was getting basically a car parked in the sky and inside a boat.
Car parked in the sky.
I
And you
wouldn't
see-
know. Can I just say I don't know what either of those are because I haven't watched the Titanic and I've never done what this thing you call car park in the sky. I wouldn't know what that is.
Are you talking about the car park in the sky up
You've
in
not-
Ramsey? Mico?
No, Paisley.
Paisley, man.
Well, you went up the Tack Me Down Road.
There's one up in Paisley. There's one up
We
in
can
the across for the Celtic training ground up in Campsie.
What is this car park?
Aye,
in
but
the
there's
sky
also,
you speak
you know,
of?
one.
What is it? What happens there?
A car park in the sky.
Oh,
Paul.
the one in Paisley, Paul. There's a wide variation of activities that happen in the Paisley. You've got, I think the car park's sectioned off for whatever you want to do. So if you want to get stoned, you want to get pumped, you want to just sit and have a laugh, have a munch, and you want to take some more.
Do you mind if I drive while you talk?
No, it's called the Glen of Fabrice, Paul.
He's driving the car park in the sky now. He's like, I'll be swiping on my Tinder. Where's that?
Do you know those? Oh, there's a mini car park this guy up in Kilsyth called the Tack Me Down Road.
No, we are.
And you can see it from...
Take me down
Well,
the road
Mum's
or
house
take me
is.
up the arse.
And it
Should we
begins.
tack me down the throat anyway?
Aye.
How'd you like it? Rough.
I'm sure there's something about dogging in there.
13 gentle.
I've never been dogging, by the way. I've always wanted to do it, but I just imagine it's like old, saggy people. I don't imagine very many young, good-looking boys and girls doing the whole dogging thing. I don't know. Maybe that's just my prejudice coming out with every time that I've.
But you think it's just old couples that are trying to reignite something in their marriage? Right, let's go a bit of dogging hen.
I think the last time I went dogging was like a traumatic experience for me. Also, the lights were out in the motor, and after I finished pumping her, put the lights on, and looked down to my fucking auntie.
Oh, no.
Without a word of a lie, I used
Was
to
that
work.
up Palastrigg, Mico, aye?
What's that?
Was that up Palastrigg, aye? That's notorious.
was actually.
That's notorious for the dogging up there.
I
Without
went
a,
to Strathclyde Park once, and that wasn't the one for me. That was the same sex type of one. I was like, oh, no for me.
there was one, I'm not even kidding. I worked in a place in Renfrew for a courier company. I can't remember what it was. But it was like a dead end street, and the last building on the street was this courier company's warehouse. But the entrance was in like a gated bit round the back, and there was a dead end road that went right up to the gate. And this wee old couple every Thursday would turn up in their estate car and get in the back and just start pumping, and everybody in the work could see it right out the window. So you're like, oh, okay, hiya.
Brilliant.
In fact, from memory, I think it was a blue Megane, a blue Renault Megane. I think it was.
I'm sure that's what Paul drives. Paul's either getting loads of phone calls. I don't know where Paul is on your screen, but he's in my bottom right. And he's either getting loads of phone calls or he's swiping on Tinder right now.
He's probably
Well,
swiping.
I've got Fraser there. I've got you below me, Paula. That could be interesting. And I've Paul's there. That's where I keep all the boys and just rest and tap your lead, Paula.
Listen, there's a load of women that would be jealous of that right now, Mico. There's a load of women that would be jealous of that. And you must get loads of women that are messaging you anyway.
No, actually.
None.
No.
They all love you.
People
They've
say
all
it's
messaged me in my inbox all day today. Ask Mico this. Ask Mico his type. Ask Mico what is his celebrity crush. Heard it all.
nice.
So, who's Paul on the phone to? Honestly, he's on the phone to somebody.
He's on the phone, man.
Have you got a blue Megane and you're coming up Palastrigg, Paul?
No, it's changed to Drumpellier Park now.
Oh, Drumpellier, aye. Fuck, I've not been there for years. I went there's a wee Wayne. Jeez, oh. Don't taint that.
I hope not.
Oh, too funny. Here, I'm drinking Pepsi and all, Mico.
That's what my mom has in her house is Pepsi. I don't like Pepsi as well, but
Oh, I love Pepsi.
it's wet.
Yeah, I'm drinking Pepsi too.
Oh, that's a nice coloured Pepsi. Is that American style, Fraser?
Aye, that's the one that's pink and piss colour.
Is that the boat of COVID?
I'm doing pink gin at the minute with the biggest glass I could find in the house because I was desperate for a drink, and it ended up being this glass.
That's still not big enough.
That's like the size of my head.
A bowl.
Mico, that's probably what women say, to be fair.
Not true. I've heard it many times in my life, you know what I mean? Is that it? Is that it? Yeah. It's like a sewing machine, hen.
Listen, going by the comments on your TikTok, that is exactly not what they're saying. They're saying oofed. I see the comments.
It's just a pair of socks with a tangerine inside them. That's what I've got done there.
What's that?
Oh, too funny.
Oh
Wee
god!
trainer socks.
So I need to try and find
I'm
Paul
glad Paul
again.
joined us for about 3 seconds. That's probably his limit anyway, to be fair. So.
No, he's come off it, and I forgot to add him back. Where is he? There he's there.
I thought
Oh, he's actually came out of it. He's probably been sitting there
So
waiting all that
3,
time.
2, 1.
He lasted
There he's there. Oh, aye, what was her name?
Did you super like somebody, Paul? Super like?
Right.
Can we not talk about this? This is a touchy subject, by the way. I get into trouble with you for that. But I don't want to discuss it because it's a bit raw.
Sudocrem's good for that.
So, what were you talking about?
You?
Dogging. Were we talking about dogging?
Aye.
Aye, they were saying it's a blue Renault,
So-
and you've got a blue Renault, pal, do you know?
I've only got one dogging story in my whole life, right? And it's not even dogging. What happened was I used to be at Strathclyde Park in my BMW with my £2,000 sound system. It was lowered, and I used to think it was a fucking ticket when I was a younger lad. And me and my mate met these two girls. I think they were twins as well. No, they weren't. They were pals. And we decided to go to a darker area, but not Strathclyde Park. It was back in Coatbridge behind Rose Hall High School. And we decided we were going to have a bit of fun, but the girls decided they wanted to take the piss, so they asked me to get naked first. So, being me and not being very shy, I took all my clothes off. But
You're about to get Mico getting his cut off now, like
But-
he's getting.
But as the story unfolded, right, we're sitting there having a laugh, and the trick is not to ever take all your clothes off in the car, because when the police chap the window, you've only got a limited amount of time to get all your clothes back on, and if you've only got your trousers down, you can probably pull them up before they even notice, right? But I couldn't get my t-shirt, my boxers, my joggies, my trainers, and my socks back on in time to roll the window down. So needless to say, I was caught unawares by the police. And that's the only story I've got. I've never done it since. I don't believe in doing it. It's just awkward. No, I tell a lie. And I don't know if I should tell this story.
You're going to need to know.
Think about it. Think about it.
Because she was a really nice girl. She probably won't listen to this, so it'll be fine. Right, so, when you drive through Strathclyde Park, right?
Talking of post, I'm right behind you, Paul.
So do you know when you drive through Strathclyde Park, you come in the main entrance, right, at the roundabout, but you go right up here at the back, and there's like the kind of wee car parks where the ice cream van thing is, and you go that way. So I met this girl down Strathclyde Park as well, and she was really nice. And I was a bit of a lad, right? So she'd only ever slept with one person. We were quite young, and I'd managed to talk her into it. I don't know how I'd managed to talk her into do it in the car, right? But anyway, I took her up there and I done it up there. So, so, and that was really the last time I spoke to her.
Probably because you took her up there, Paul.
Yeah, because you took it up there.
I stopped kind of talking to her after that.
Oh, that's savage.
Was that
I'm
traumatic?
not going to lie. I was not a nice guy when I was younger. Like I was quite ruthless in my
Escapades.
and my escapades.
Just when you said ice cream van there, that's where I lost my virginity. I'm back in an ice cream van.
What was his name? Who was the driver?
His name was Peter. No, my mate used to run an ice cream van. I used to be a van boy, and there was a van lassie. One night, me and her in the van, and he jumped out the van for a fag, and he came back in. He had a tub of ice cream there. It was getting refilled.
Oh, mate! If you managed to pump her by the time you had a fag, you can tell it was when you lost your virginity.
Right, I was 16.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, no, the best story I've got in the land, right? Wait. In fact, I can't tell that story. Carry on. I can't tell that one. That would get me into lots of trouble.
We've probably got a few names, to be fair, Paul, let's be honest.
It involves a tent, right? In fact, I could probably give you the backstory. It probably won't catch on about where it was and how it happened. Oh, no, fuck it. Who cares, man? I'm nowhere anymore.
I wonder who that could be.
Right, so it involved a tent at a large gathering, and met this girl, and I was absolutely out, mate. I was out it, right? Total out the fucking game. And we're in our tent talking. And our pal went down to the burger van to buy a burger, and I'm in the tent with her. Next minute, she zipped up the tent and just pulled me back. And next minute, fucking, I'm rattling her. And our pal comes bailing in the tent. Woof, unzipped it. Get off her! Get off her! And she's lying on her back going, we're just talking. And our pal's like, she's no like that. And I just took her and I'm like, obviously she fucking is. Look. But my pal was at the burger van weird. Paul just says to me, by the way, all you could see was that wee 2-man tent fucking going like that. and she just ran. she just started running.
You
Went to my bed, woke up in the morning, the tent wasn't there. They done a flat in it about 3 o'clock in the morning. The pal was obviously raging and went, right, fucking move. We're going now. Oh, lovely night.
Dragged her to chapel.
At the chapel?
I'm saying dragged her to the chapel the next day.
I dragged it there, but I still love doing stuff, man. Like, it was like, I've got hundreds of stories. I'm not going to lie, because I was never a really nice person.
Imagine we've all got a few stories, to be honest with you, Paul.
But I just like doing stuff. Yeah, listen.
I just like doing stuff.
Aye.
Just like doing
bits.
stuff. Paul
back in the day-
find
back-
me like that. Draw me like one of your French girls. That's like really fucked, is it?
one of my, I don't know, did I tell you about the one in Ibiza that I get slagged for the whole time I was there? Like, I was, like, we were there the same time as these girls from Newcastle, right? And I was kind of working my way every night through different girls, but every day I was determined I was going to bang this lassie, right? And she just wasn't for it because she had a boyfriend, and I'm like, no, this is on, by the way, watch this. So one night we were out. I had disappeared with a girl and I had come back to, where was it? Was it Eden? I think is it Eden? Es Paradis. It was Es Paradis, right? We were in, and it was the pool party, because Es Paradis is the one where you could fill up with water. It filled up with water on some nights, right? So it was the pool party in there, and I came back and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, she was there. I'm like, Mom, we'll go. Mom, I'll walk you back to the hotel. And I took her down to this wee bit at the pier, and I'm sitting and I'm pointing at all the stars and all that. I'm like, see up there, that's constellation up there. That's the Big Dipper, and I'm like, and I was telling her all about the stars, and the fucking cow went back and told all my pals.
And you're trying to pull the Big Dipper at the same time.
So I'm trying to be the big check all these stars out, right? And I get back to the hotel room, and my cousin's like, oh, what were you doing? Oh, Paul was just showing me the stars, and that was it. Fucking ripped the whole holiday after that. But I banged her the next night, so it was all right.
Hold on, a wee song comes to mind. There's a star man waiting.
Right, it's another story, isn't it?
And have you got anything you want to ask Mico? Because you've talked about yourself as usual, Paul.
It's not doing too bad. It's only been half an hour. He's talked about himself. So we're getting there. We are getting there.
Let me take a step back. Let's talk about Mico, right?
Aye, let's talk about me. Go for it. Scalp me with it. These what I know.
Come on, ask the question. You wanted to ask the question.
I just said, do you have any questions to speak to Mico about?
Don't fight on me, guys.
Mico, do you have a TikTok crush?
Fuck's sake.
You.
A real one?
A real one? I actually don't. I don't actually have a TikTok crush. I got asked this a wee while ago, and I actually went blank. I don't actually have a TikTok crush as per se.
Me either.
There's people that come across in TikTok and I go, they're not bad.
That's it. That's my questions.
Aye.
That's your one question, Paul. That the bag. Fucking shite.
Hold that one right
Fraser,
there.
you're meant to be the fucking radio DJ, right? You're the guy that asks all these people questions when you have them on your show and all that. Natty Dread, Chicken, Cup. Come on, let's hear some radio questions off of you.
Some radio
questions.
They're really boring. It's the same questions I ask everybody. Like, how did you get started with TikTok?
There we are. Initially, I've had it since it was Musically, because also I was with my ex-partner and her little girl had it. So me and my ex-partner had it. to keep an eye on her, and I just kept it since then, and it got taken over to be TikTok. I had it also at the start of lockdown as well, when I never posted things, and it was kind of midway through lockdown. I just started thought, fuck it, I'm going to go for this and just start making videos.
So
Crap, mind you, but I thought I'm going to start making videos.
So how did you feel when you started getting up to like the 5K numbers? With the amount of followers you've got?
Also on my other account. Well, on my other account before that, get absolutely Thanos for no apparent reason. They were there warning. It was good. I actually quite liked it and quite enjoyed it, but I think I was getting a lot of attention because of this whole TikTok in the park thing that I came up with, which unfortunately I don't think is going to really go ahead this year because of the whole COVID crap. But I think because also the whole TikTok in the park, I started getting a bit more momentum, my followers, and people kind of follow me to find out more information about it and things like this.
I would say that was when TikTok in the park was going to happen. I don't think it'll ever happen now. If you watch TikTok now, it's just a breeding ground for fucking idiots.
There's too much hate. There's finding there's people who were pals on it, who've came friends off it, and who are actually want to kill each other. You think at first, when I thought about the idea, I thought about the whole kind of hate thing, because like you have people who might want to come down just to start fights, like followers, people who want to just kind of spectate in the comments. I thought about all that stuff, but see now, there's too many people on there just having fights across the actual platform rather than using it for a good thing. So I think the whole idea of TikTok in the park and making it for something good, because my whole idea for it was to do it for like raising awareness for some mental health, or doing it for a charity, and you kind of showing TikTok and other people that the Scottish creators are using their platforms for a better good. But the way it's going now, man, I don't think that'd be possible, because also I say there's too much drama happening on it and things like that. It's taking a lot of the kind of goodness away from it as well, and kind of enjoyment and pleasure out of it.
So what are you doing to bring the enjoyment and pleasure back to TikTok then?
He's doing a sneaky ball. He's doing a sneaky ball for all the women.
Sneaky ball.
Shrink my dick about in a pair of grey shorts. That seems to bring a bit of enjoyment back to some people, doesn't it?
Well, it fucking brings it to me, big man. It brings it to me. I get a semi every time I see it.
Every time you see it? What, the grey shorts?
Aye, well, it's only a semi, because if it was right out and about, then I'd probably get a full rager. But unfortunately, because it's within the shorts area, it's just a semi at the minute. Aye.
Well, I get a full-on rage when I see yours, Paul.
I'm starting to get a semi just thinking about it.
Keep your hands where we can see them.
If you see Paul start shaking about, you know what he's up to.
Aye.
Sneaky boys and steamy windies.
What?
Sneaky boys.
Aye.
Where are you
goes, coming from the body heat.
Paul, where are you parked just now? I might just come and find you and do a wee sneaky ball against your window.
I'm in Coat Bridge, mate, just outside the shell, well, the old shell garage, just near the golf.
On my way. Against your window.
Just adding for everybody that's watching this is pre-recorded. Please do not go to his location because he's not there.
Yeah, Paul,
what his location? Go on a location, we'll just sit and watch when he's all arriving.
That would
I'll
be funny.
the real renegade, right? That's what we'll do one night. Will we do a live one?
Renegade.
Will we do a live one and say we'll do a giveaway? I've got some. I was going to say something there. I better know. I've got some headphones in the boot that are the same as shall we say a popular make, but they're not a popular make.
So they're Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah, but.
So the one I'll get to
no,
Paul head.
But they are. Can we say they look exactly like?
No, you can't.
The real thing, but they're not the real thing.
No, let's just move on from that.
Paul, you said that in daily life, mate.
In fact, do you know what?
Is that what?
No. In fact, I've got T-shirts from the station that you could all sign.
What we'll do is we'll do a live one. A live Zoom call, like on YouTube. Once we need to get to 1,000 followers, but first, don't we?
No.
We'll call it a TikTok tosser. With these headphones in the back of my motor, they look like the real thing, but they're not the real thing. But they might not be the real thing. I'm not too sure, because if the real thing, they were the real thing, but might be Ricky Lakers, it could be Turkey Specials, who knows?
Aye. Somebody's app. Paul, I brought my tent just in case you wanted something, you know. That's what I'll be saying.
That's funny. You bring the tent, I'll bring the tent pole.
Aye, it's a one-man tent
Aye.
that two people can fit in.
Fuck. Oh, no.
Just a spray tan tent.
What?
It's just a spray tan tent, that's all.
Aye, that's it, aye.
That's all you need.
I got asked loads of questions. What?
You trying to say I've got a wee willy?
Have you seen the height of a spray tan tent?
Is it tall?
Have you seen the height of Paul? Have you seen the height of Paul? Honestly, Paul, every week Paul gets a height joke brought in, and I think that needs to be a running theme.
Agreed.
I do love you, really, Paul.
It's all right. It's all right, baby, because they're doing. Know how they're doing the whole Disney real life films now. They're bringing all the films like Mulan for cartoon into real life. Well, they're doing that with Roald Dahl books next. So I've fucking put you in for the BFG.
BFG, aye.
Now, just adding, the only reason all this height stuff started is the first podcast you turned around and went, "That's a huge bitch." That's the only reason this started. It's your own fault.
Paul, genuinely, like, for the moment I've met Paul in person, Paul's like, "I'm not standing beside you. No, I'm not. You make me feel emasculated."
To be fair, that's the first thing I say to you, Paul, and Kurt's sitting, he's like, "You're a big bitch, aren't you?"
Yes.
And a nice way. And then he was like, "You're a big bitch."
I know, like, I get asked all the time about all the men TikTokers that I've met, and like everybody's like, are they tall? Because loads of people think Paul is really tall.
Everybody says to me, "You're shorter than what I thought." Because it's genuinely, I've spoken to folk, and what they're saying is my body shape tells people that, see, because my head isn't. You know how sometimes you see a wee guy, you know he's wee because his hands are quite big or his head's a bit bigger. So there's something on his body that just isn't quite in proportion, but I am full. Every part of my body is in proportion.
There's one part we've not seen, Paul. That might be the bit more in proportion.
No, it's no, Paul. You're not as big in stature, but a big in length. I'll give you that one, mate.
You don't see my bobby. You've seen it
No,
in the
but
group chat.
honestly-
Don't try to kid on yous, haven't you? Everybody's. I just get it out. I don't care.
The thigh drum solo,
Listen,
that's what I call you, Paul.
it stresses me out. It actually stresses me out to see that every time. I'm like, no, again, man. Like, I'm too close to you to see that.
I've got an idea for you, Paul. Now that, is it Phil Collins, the drum solo thing, you see the big gorilla doing? I want you to see them your thighs. I can feel it in.
No, but I everybody asked about Paul's height, and then I was talking to another TikToker, and they actually said to me, a male TikToker, and they said to me, "I know, but I met Mico, and Mico's quite, I thought Mico was going to be tall." And they didn't expect you. They actually said they were just probably about the same height, if just a wee bit bigger. So anyway, the only two male TikTokers, and I've said this before, that are actually taller than me is who? Jasper and Jandy.
And Rossi.
Thing will be following you, the Glasgow Doorman, Bubba. He's just an inch smaller. In fact, half an inch smaller than Jasper.
Aye, so but I've not met him.
Half an inch is a lot.
I know, mate. I'm 5'9.5".
Don't you
I'll
just?
take that half inch.
I'm 5'6.5". That half is a lot.
See, we could be just round it up and say I'm 5'10" and you're 5'7", Paul.
Mate, I was 5'7". I was 5'7". I was in the army, but I'm 37-year-old now, and I must have. You know how you shrink over your lifetime? Like when I get measured in the army, my discharge papers clearly state 5'7".
Your discharge papers? Do your papers start now? Do your papers that sort of shit now?
I used to discharge my gun a lot.
Paul. So you're saying you're 5 foot 7 inches?
Yeah.
So I'm 5'9".
I'm 5'7" inches. 7 inches.
Is that
an inch is
7 inches, that's about half an inch.
An inch, yeah.
No, man measurements, man measurements, that's 7 inches, all right?
Hold on.
Right. No wonder you don't get the ladies, Paul, for fuck's sake. Your chat up lines have been poor from the very beginning.
That's an inch.
My chat lines are brilliant. My chat lines are brilliant. Did I tell you the American school one?
Oh, hit us with
Wait a minute.
Why is it I feel dread now that he said this?
Wait a minute. I want to write the timing down to know when I cut this bit out.
Right,
go.
on, so we can cut everybody. So we can cut this bit out, right?
Wow.
And then we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah.
I
wanna go
was more meaning along the lines of you saying, you know, guess how much I pay for a haircut? £40.
Or are you winter?
Do you like the
You're going to be
PlayStation?
coming soon. You're going to be coming soon.
Listen, see, because my
wow.
last name's Stark, I hear that all the time because of Game of Thrones. Like, because they always say winter is coming. And I hear that all the time because my last name's Stark. Or the Iron Man.
Oh,
Oh,
are
see
you
if your
looking for a
left
stud?
leg was Christmas and your right leg was Halloween. Cause I come and visit you between the holidays.
Hey!
Oh,
Are you
for fuck's sake.
Are you looking for a stud? Because I've got the STD. All I need is you.
Oh my God.
That I'm leaving in.
Hey!
So Mico, I got loads of messages about asking you questions. So I got asked, what's your favourite thing to do when you're not on TikTok?
Spend time with my little boy and just chill out. I said, really, can I just spend as much time with my little boy and I've got him as much as possible? Because when I've not got him, I think majority of my time I'm at work or I'm on TikTok. So those days I'm not on it, I just try to take advantage of it. Because it's when you're on it too much, you lose a bit of creative drive and come up with ideas to do something new. That's how, if you notice my TikTok, I don't post it for a couple of days and a day or two, I just hit it with loads of videos, then I'll go quiet again because you don't want to kind of oversaturate yourself, you know what I mean? That's what I feel anyway. But when I'm not doing TikToks, I just spend it on a wee boy.
I can't even remember what I asked there now. God's sake. Oh, I asked you what you were liked off of TikTok. That's right, aye.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm going to favourite sexual position.
Oh, reverse cowgirl, but I've got my own type of move that I like to do that kind of surprises people.
Hey, Paul, I bet you don't have that kind of answer.
No, I don't like pumping.
Paul's is that, oh, I've got a sore heat tonight, darling, and rolls right over. That's his favourite.
Yeah. Oh, is yours the Crocodile special?
Who, Paul?
I've got a drawer.
Aye.
I just hand them something here. It's got new batteries in it. Batter in.
I might start doing that.
After all that time, that's the only question you thought, hey, Paul?
What's your answer to it, Paula?
I never get asked these kind of things, doggy style.
That's Mace Lassie's one, isn't it? Doggy style.
You
don't have
can
to
be
look
rough
at
with
this.
it.
What's yours, Fraser?
In the dark.
In the dark. Listen, I'm going to chip in right since about this. Mine's is cowgirl or the same as you, reverse cowgirl, only because I'm a lazy bastard. It conserves energy.
It does. But what I've noticed as well, see, after kind of 5-10 minutes, I kind of reverse cowgirl, the lasses start getting check engine light and fucking what I get off. Their knees start heating up.
My thing is I'm a sweater, right? So I used to like over the shoulder. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, so submission rate, pillow underneath, legs in there, leaning down, and you get it nice and deep, right? But see after about 10, 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes of going like that, right? The sweat starts running down my chin and dripping onto them, and it's no nice. Not going to lie, because I'm a heavy sweater.
He's a heavy sweater.
You know what, Paul? See on their last 3 videos, we've had some lovely comments, and I really dread to see the comments that are going to come for your heavy sweater situation here right now.
It's not the only thing you've got to kind of spray in their face, is it? Is he sweat?
Woo!
Oh, the one I like to do kind of surprises people because it uses a lot of your strength. A lot of people don't expect you to pull this one out the bag. I'll describe it to you. See as you're saying, Paul, early shooters,
Aye.
missionary, will drape the legs down so the legs are sitting over the top of your bicep. You
Right.
whisper into the ear, hold on tight to the back of my neck, get your hands up the back, you storm right up in the air, and just do that with your arms.
Paul's sweating thinking about that. Look at his face. He's already having a sweat on the new.
Paul need a
Most
lassie
of them are.
small hand to try
I'm
though,
not
just
going
in
to
case
lie.
you stood up.
I think I'm too small for that. I don't know if I could hold. She'd probably need to hold me up.
If a lassie just straight her legs out and just storm up with you.
Honestly, she'd probably need to hold me. She'd need to do that with me.
Bicep curl you.
Oh, well, we're getting into
You left
sensible
that girl.
questions and all.
Know how sometimes when you lift a bird and you're carrying her to bed all sexy, you see it in the films and he just lifts her up and just does woof. Not me. I'm one of the ones. I'm fucking 2 steps and I'll fail.
Smash the heat off the door.
Time you get to the bed, my arms are hanging off. Like, well, let's do this. What do you mean, let's do this? Give me fucking 5 minutes till the cramp goes out my arms.
She's got concussion, fucking heat all bashed open. Paul's like, let's go.
Aye, but I'm sure I heard. Remember about the time, Mico, you had to put Paul to bed?
That's right, I've still got the photos on my phone actually. I saved Paul for falling down the stairs as well that night.
He's turned the light out so nobody can see his reaction here.
Almost took a dive
Blind
either. It
reacting
wasn't
to
my
this.
quick reflexes.
Aye.
Did I try to run down the stair or something like?
No, you were
The
still at the top of
banister,
the
Paul.
stairs.
You tried to
You
get down
took
the
a nice-
banister, mate.
You took a nice wee stumble. I was on the banister and you were at the top of the stairs and you took a stumble. I actually had to lean out and grab you my left arm and pull you right up with the scruff of your neck. I was actually holding you up mid-air like that. And your wee leg was just dangling. You're like, wah! That's in mid-air. Wah!
Oh.
Like, Mina, what did you do with him? Fucking love you guys, you're brilliant.
I do like a drink. I'm not going to lie. When I get drunk, I'm a fanny, but you know what? It's all good fun.
I think at one point, yeah, the full your trails came right down at one point as well, and the boxers about to come down, and there's a few family members all standing there like, no, Paul.
I like to get naked. I can't help it.
And so I noticed. Try to winch a few times as well, mate. You try to get off me a few times. I wasn't saying no, mind you.
I'm comfortable in my sexuality. I can kiss boys. I have kissed boys with tongues before. I'm not going to lie, like, but there's nothing in it. It's just for a laugh.
Yeah, just a winch into it just to see what it tastes like.
It tastes like a girl. The only difference is it's that kind of rough. See that the thing that pits me off a wee bit, right, is the fact that you can feel the kind of bristles, and you're not meant to, because if you're kissing a girl, like if you're a straight man kissing a girl, it's nice and it's soft. You're a straight man kissing a straight man, it's kind of awkward, but still you do it just for a laugh. Girls kiss each other all the time, and they're straight.
You've been doing a lassie who hasn't shaved though, so what's the difference?
No, I haven't, because it's like Velcro. It's like Velcro, by the way, because see the lassie has shaved and it's that rough way, and I've got my full beard done. I just get stuck.
Velcro for muff diving.
That.
Once the thighs come round your foot, you're like,
I love it though.
I'm glad that, you see, when we get Cole and Abby on here, and Paul will be able to bloody well talk like this, and it's going to be one podcast that he'll know be talking about his Bobby.
You must you a bit.
Much you want to bet, he'll be talking the whole time just to see what they say, to see what I'm going to try and turn one of them. Paul, you a sneaky boy. He'll try and do a sneaky boys to go, you like that, didn't you? You like that?
Yeah, here we go. What's happening, ladies? They'll be like that, wouldn't they? Fuck off, you wee dick.
I'll punch your
The news has travelled to Dumfries. So, Mico, what type of lassie do you like?
What type do I like?
This is one of the questions I got asked to ask you. I got loads of questions inboxed to me about this today.
Do you want me? Can I answer it for you? And then you can,
Oh,
Let's see, go for it, Paul.
and then you can tell me whether I'm right or wrong, right?
Yeah.
So they need to be. Don't need to be. Let's take the good looking part out of it, right? As society says, but they need to be sexy, confident, and a wee bit psycho. Just a wee bit. Need a wee bit of psycho in them.
Depends
That's
what
what
level. Depends what level of psycho.
Like
first level.
If we're
blow
talking
your
stage
fucking
5, then no.
blow your socks off in the bedroom, psycho. One of the ones like you are going to have the best ride of your life, but it's going to come at a fucking cost.
You're going to wake up your boss and her earrings type of thing.
Aye.
Aye, if it's one of us is going to wear your foreskins a snood, I could be doing for that.
I'm just saying it because no good sex ever came for a good girl.
I'm just trying to think. You could be right there, Paul. You could be exactly right. I normally reckon. But anyway, I'm going to get all I hate saying, "Oh, yeah, birds are cycles." No, birds are cycles.
No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is, know how when you say, right, girls, what do girls see in bad boys, right? Girls are not attracted to good boys because they just aren't they? Girls like a bad boy for a reason, and guys like a psycho bird for a reason. It's just the way it works. And I'm not talking about psycho bird as in. I'm just talking about that wee bit of fire in their belly. You know what I'm talking about? Like proper fire. The stuff that you hate. The stuff that you hate 5 years down the line, the stuff that you leave them for because they're fucking mental. But at the time, it was brilliant.
At the time, that was fucking amazing.
That's what you think Nico's type is, Paul?
Aye.
Close. Very close. Very close. I'll go with that. Aye, 16, confident. Somebody's no a wee lassie. If you know what I mean. Somebody knows what they're wanting. I love a bird with tattoos. I love a bird with tattoos. That does something to me.
So that's your type then? Was it dark hair then? Dark hair and tattoos?
Any preference to hair colour?
Because I don't have a type.
See, I don't have a type as per se, because I also think the lassie with tattoos, that's just a thing I like, but I actually don't have a type. See, as long as I click with somebody and I go home with them, then who knows?
Well, Paul does have a type. He's Paul will not go for someone taller than him.
No, but that's not a type. That's just fucking common sense.
That's heightist.
It's not. It's common sense. It's common sense. I like stand up doggy. I don't want to do it on a dining room chair.
Well, she can kneel down.
Then it's no stand up doggy. It's her kneeling down, me standing up doggy. That doesn't work for me.
You're still standing up doggy, isn't it? You're still standing up getting her doggy.
But that doesn't feel right. That would make me feel like a wee midget.
Just find a coffee table. Just tell it to bend in a coffee table and you can still stand up.
But that's not good for me. That makes me feel I'm emasculated by a tall woman. I'm just putting it out there.
We'll get you some platform shoes.
The Spice Girl shoes for years ago, mind? Like that.
Or get me a wee girl. Get me a short girl. I just want a short one.
So you do have a type, there you go. Like you just said you don't have a type, you say that again.
I don't have a type. I don't care about boobs. Well, do you know what? See if a girl's got big boobs. Ooh. See if a girl's got a big bum. Ooh. See if a girl's got black hair. Ooh. See if a girl's got blonde hair. Ooh. I don't have a type. I'll take it.
Just a female in general. Ooh.
What would you say your favourite hair colour is, right? See if you were to pick a hair colour, what would it be? I'll ask everybody this, right? See if it, right, yeah, right. And I'm talking about natural hair colour. I'm not talking about dyed hair. If you were to say a nice natural hair colour, what would it be? If you get a thing for it.
Ginger.
I'm with you on this one.
The strawberry blondie type ginger.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like
you talking about
what's her name out of Jumanji?
Oh, Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan type. Do you know who else is good looking, but she's a bit young, right? Her out of EastEnders. What's the girl out of EastEnders that's always on TikTok? Is it Maisie something?
Maisie. That's amazing something.
I like that.
I agree. Watch
So
this,
Fraser, you're a ginger.
Yeah. Secret
all the
ginger.
words on TikTok was like, "Here's ginger now."
I know. They're all like, oh my god, Paul and Mico love gingers. Woof. They'll be doing that transition thing like that. No, I'll just have ginger hair or
That's
blow dries like
excellent.
that. Oh,
But
I
you,
might
need
get a
to,
shout
you, need to,
out.
rem- but you need to remember that, guys. We're
Licking on a
specifically talking about
temporary
natural
tattoo.
here.
Mico will go for me now.
Natural, not dyed. Natural.
The TikTok transitions have all got permy pens out through their arm tied. I heard ginger. That's Mico as well, by the way. I'll boil your chihuahua. Take me.
Can I just please say I just thought that was your type. I don't have a preference to like. I don't have a preference to what personality they've got. Well, they need about
Just
going
multiple
funny.
ones.
No, they need about going funny for me. My type is just they need to be very, very sexy, and they don't have to be society standard good looking. I don't mean like something off a fucking Glamour magazine or Cosmopolitan. I just mean that they need to be.
The thing is, Paul,
confident
a lassie might be absolutely stunning and beautiful to you, but she might not be the same to me. So everybody's perception of beauty and stunning and everything else is completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Society's version of beautiful, I don't really mind that, right? I don't care. It's nice,
Yeah.
right? But my version, if I was to say, I don't like skinny birds, like skinny. Like I don't like supermodel skinny. I like a bum and I like boobs. So I like
girls,
that,
if you're not super skinny but not a supermodel skinny, but you're slim, you get big boobs and a big bum, hit Paul up.
And if
Oh,
you're
and
a ginger,
you get a wee bit of
you're
ginger hair, a wee bit of
naturally ginger,
spike on you.
But please, if you're going to hit me up, wait a few months because I'm still getting over my. I'm not ready for that yet.
Best way to go over somebody is to go right under somebody else.
And to be fair, I do like getting under because it means because I'm lazy and I don't like to do any work.
And cause you sweat as well.
And because I sweat, I'm a sweater.
It's been a lot of information shared today.
I know. I'm just like, see, the next time we're recording with Steph, but I've not even told Paul this, but we're recording with the Steph and Tonic, which is Steph and Terry. Yeah, I was on a live with them last night. They're brilliant and they're so nice. And
Let's get cut out. In fact, when I just said that.
Paul, you are together.
Right, try that again, Paula.
Do you know something? I'm going to tell you something. See, when I signed up to this podcast and I said I'm only coming on this if I have Paul with me, have you ever had a moment of regret in your life? Because to me, this is this moment. And, you know, and I spoke about the fact that I had said that I spoke about this last night on a live, and I said, you know, somebody had actually asked me about this podcast and said, you know, why, how did it come about? And I can explain that I was on Paisley FM talking about bullying and stuff. And then I spoke about that you'd approached me and asked about a podcast, and I specifically said, I'm not doing it on my own. If I'm going to do this, I'm bringing Paul with me. And I said that because I'm really close with Paul, and I thought, you know what, if I'm going to do a journey like this, then I'm going to do it with Paul because I'm pretty close with him and I want to take him on this journey. And honestly, now I feel like opening the aeroplane doors and booting you out.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you listen to George Bowie in the morning? So it's like Paul's George Bowie, he does all the talking, and the wee female one, that's Paula, and then just the quiet producer in the background, that's Fraser. Bowie at breakfast.
Bowie couldn't fucking tie my shoes, lace my shoes.
And Bowie, if you're watching this,
You need to lift you up to do it.
edit that out, I know. Fuck's sake. Anyway, so they're coming on next, so...
Can somebody tag me in their videos then? Because I probably follow them, or I maybe don't. I don't know, but you know what I'm like. I'm a very
Paul follows no one. Like Paul, like literally, I have so many people that say I've followed 4 of Paul's accounts, and he's still not even followed me back yet. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. Like I'm like Paul's PA, by the way. What people don't realise is I do all Paul's communication with his followers. They can't get to Paul, so they come to me. And then I organise everything and just say to Paul, I need you to turn up at this time. And And Paul's like that. I'm going to give Paula the least airtime to talk because she's done everything else. She can just not speak.
I think when Paul sees it, you do your TikTok lives. That's your airtime there, Paula.
It is. It totally is. I know, and now I understand why at the beginning my papa was like, "Fuck Paul, he's not coming on this journey." I now understand it.
No, the best thing about this day, Paul is banging on about how I just do all the talking, right? And then people are going to listen to the podcast and go, Paul talks a lot. Paul didn't talk anywhere. He was talking just as much as everybody else. Aye, because half of it get fucking cut out.
My God.
Paul, what I'm going to say next is Paul, you got to cut out when you're talking about also you're sweating, Paul. I can imagine, also lassie's got to talk about it afterwards. Oh, what is it like? Did he make you squat? You're a golden shower? No, I just sweat through my fucking face when missing the position.
Well, I told them I was going to get them soaking before we started. I just didn't tell them how.
Exactly. I'll make your face dripping, hen. How? I don't know. There's 4 ways I'll make you drip.
You're going to be soaking at the end of this, hen. Soaking. Am I? Aye.
Aye. Are you ready? It's coming.
Oh, hilarious. Oh, fuck. And what, Mico, what I got asked as well was this. I'll bring it back to a serious note because Paul always takes it right off track. What would you like to see happen through TikTok? If you could see yourself going somewhere through it, what would it be?
I'd like to see it also help as many people as I can because on my TikTok journey, I have helped a few people with regards to mental health. There has been a couple of people who've reached out to me and they've told me I've saved their life because also they're potentially going to end their life. So in a way, see, regards to having loads of followers, that doesn't bother me. What actually I take more from is actually helping people. Actually, like for some guys to can make them realise they can open up, they're not alone. They should speak to people and things like this, or male or female. So even just going along the journey and knowing that potentially one of my videos could help one person, that means a lot more to me than anything else. It's just it's a no feeling like it. When you get a message, it's not easy. You go, oh, somebody's messaging me telling that, but it's like I've had a few times people have messaged me and go, listen, thank you. Like, I used to do lives quite regular, and on my lives I just sit and talk about life in general and what I've been through and how I've dealt with cope things, like what I've done to cope with stuff I'm going through. And I've come off my live and I've had messages from people saying thank you for that. You've helped me a lot. Because of that, I'm going to take steps to help me make it better myself and things like that. So to me, that means a lot more to having thousands of followers, just knowing you're helping people.
Yeah, and I think, the fact that you have got a group of guys that you're part of in that kind of group, I think, from a perspective, if I look at a nursing perspective, male mental health in Scotland in particular is at the highest for a peak right now of males having really bad mental health, and it can go really quick, and there isn't a lot of support out there. So I think it is, especially on a social media app, nice to see that there's other guys out there who all want to come together and be a support network for each other, so that if you're having a bad day, you can turn around and say, listen guys, I'm having a really bad day, and one of them can turn around and say, okay, well, let's talk about it, and let's see what we can do to help, and things like that. So I think that it's good in that sense that you have got a unique friendship that is not just friends that you meet up with a Saturday and have a couple of pints down the pub. It's friends that you can actually connect with on another level, of a serious level, that if you're having it in a tough day, that you can turn to and say, listen, I'm mentally not at my strongest today, and I don't know where to go for here. And that's what is needed, and particularly in Scotland and the west of Scotland.
The group chat we also in, Paul himself, he was in that as well. Every single one of us have went through. Everybody's got their own struggles in life. We've all got our own issues. We've all got our own problems. Just because I've got something on doesn't mean that takes it away from you. You've got something on, Paul or Fraser or Paul, doesn't mean what I'm dealing with is any better. It kind of supersedes what you're going through. But every single person in that group chat, at some point over the last few months, we've all went through something, or we're still going through something, and we all kind of support each other the best we can. And even outside of the group chat, there's people I've met through TikTok and I've become friendly with them because, like I said, they've reached out to me and asked for a bit of help, and I've done the best I can. Not saying that I'm a professional, but also all you need is that kind of wee bit of boost from someone, like a stranger you don't know, because some people find it hard speaking to a family member or a friend,
Yep.
and actually prefer reaching out and speaking to a stranger because I don't know what it is.
Seeing as you're on here and we're talking about this, I'll thank you, I'll thank Paula, I'll thank Fraser, Christina, Laurie, Stacey, Debbie. If I forgot anybody else, I'm sorry. Because about 2 Mondays ago, I decided that my life wasn't worth living and I was going to end it. And I switched my phone off and I drove to what I thought was the Erskine Bridge, and I was going to. I was determined I was going to do it, so I didn't tell anybody it was going to happen. Nobody knew where I was going, and this is how useless that I thought I was that night. How useless I thought I was. I couldn't even do it right because I got to the Erskine Bridge. The fence was too high. They built a fence on it, and it curves over like that now. So that when you get to it, you can't go over it. So had that fence not been there, I wouldn't be here. But when I got back to my car, I had voicemails and messages for all these, and it brought me back. So thanks to everybody thanks to everybody on TikTok. Thanks to TikTok and thanks to the people like yous, I'm still here because I would have probably not been able to throw myself off that bridge. I would have got back into my car. I'd have still been lonely, and I would have found another way of doing it. And that's where I was, and that's where I was a couple of Mondays ago. So, in a way, TikTok's saved my life. In a way.
So also, you're not alone, Paul.
Definitely not.
I've been where you. I've been there. I attempted to take my own life before as well. But the time for me is my son that saved my life. Because I didn't have a lot of friends back then. I lost a lot of friendships, so it was my son that saved me. But just knowing yourself, Paul, as you said, you're not alone. You're not alone at all. You have got all of us at your back, but I mean, at that time in your life, you feel lonely. You feel there's no other way to go. You just feel like a burden. But like you said, you realise it's soon enough that you have me, you have Fraser, you have Paul, Christina, Laurie, the long list is that we're here for you. We're all a phone call away, a text message away. You need us, we're there as soon as possible, and that's what. And you think we've all met through TikTok, and we've all became close because of TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something as simple as an app like this has brought a lot of people together, and it's helping people open up about their demons.
It's mental because I wouldn't even talk to my own pals or my own family the way I talk to people, and it's crazy how a friendship can develop. And some of the friendships I've got on here, I've never met them. It's not like I've got friendships with every single person we've met up, we've went for a pint or we've done things. I've only met a select few of yous yet. I feel close to other people who I haven't met before, so it's crazy. And a lot of people who don't have the app or who have never been on it don't realise or maybe can't get it through their head as to how that can happen. Yeah. How can you create that friendship? But these same people will go on Tinder and find love, and you're like, right, so how can you go on a dating app, swipe somebody right, start talking to them online, build up to meet them, and then start going out with them, but I can't go on an app where we see everybody having a laugh and a joke and the serious stuff and doing lives together and pretty much although we're not in the same room, we pretty much through lockdown we spent nearly every single day together. Like we spent every day together, and that's the way it was. So the friendships that I've created through TikTok, although we don't see each other, although we don't speak every single day anymore because I'm not on lives, just get that out there. I still feel that I'm close to everybody.
Yeah. Well, I feel some of the friendships I've made off of TikTok, I feel I'm closer to some of the people I've met on here than to some pals that I've had since I was a teenager.
Yeah, and I equally am the same. Like I actually have lost pals, and I've had a hard time in my work, because of TikTok, where I've been
not just because of TikTok, because of me and all.
Yeah, well, because I became friends with Paul, and I've had a lot of hate, would I say? I don't know how to say it, but let's just say I've had a lot of negativity, you know, and a lot of things that were said in my ward that I worked in because of the fact I'm on TikTok, and you know, it makes you feel, what people that are doing that, they don't realise is mentally that actually gets to you. And you know, when you're in a profession where you're actually there to be supportive and helping other people, and you're pulling somebody down, one, because they've been shielding and they can't be at work, and so they've used an app to get through the days and try to help other people and support other people, and then you try to pull them down because they've done that, and two, because they've made friends with somebody, and because I'm really close with Paul, and I have made friends with him, the stuff that's been said in my workplace has been hard going about me, to the point that I don't really want to meet anybody in my workplace, in the ward that I worked in. I've been moved ward because mentally I don't think I could cope with them. I don't think I could cope with working alongside somebody that can bring somebody down as much as what has been spoke about me and said about me, and what I've heard through other people who work in my workplace. And I'm lucky I'm now in another team and things, and it's great, but it just shows you that although people might be in the most caring environment, what they actually do to other people is tear them down, and tear them down for who they're friends with, which is quite sad. But for me, do you know what? If I had to go back and repeat this process, knowing everything that I've known here, I would 100%, and I said this to Paul because I'm really close with Paul, I would 100% repeat the same process, and I would 100% keep the friendship I've got with Paul, rather, and I would take all this shit that I've took, knowing that I'm still friends with him at the end of it, because one, I know that that's a friendship that I've built up and I'm probably going to remain to have in my lifetime, and two, I don't think that anybody can justify the relationship I've got with Paul as a friend, because one, they don't know anything about Paul's life, what they've based me and his friendship on is other things that they've heard, which is not necessarily correct at all. In fact, none of it's correct, and they felt the need then to bring that onto me, and 100% I wouldn't choose that any differently. I would rather remain friends with him than not, and if that meant taking the hate and the bullying I've had to take, then I'll do it all over again.
No, exactly. See the people I've came across that's been like that, they want to spread hate about people who are doing stuff on the app. In my head, I see them being jealous. Because I think this way, you've got the confidence and the balls to go on this app and do all these kind of, we think of some of the TikToks do, somebody's going to do dances. Me and Paul done swing my fucking dicks out in grey shorts. Some of the recent ones I've done half naked. See, about 6-7 months ago, I wouldn't have done topless stuff on here. I've never done that, but as you also have gained the confidence through this. And I think a lot of people who give hate, I feel as if they're jealous. Not jealous in all, I'm jealous of you, but because they lack the confidence and the creativity to go out and actually do something and actually push themselves out of their comfort zone to actually do things like make the TikTok and create new friendships. It scares a lot of people. And rather than just being open to it and going, I respect what they're doing, you used to go, I don't understand, I don't agree with that, let's just start some bullshit rumours.
Yeah, and you know, like TikTok at the beginning, I never really posted a lot. I had TikTok for the end of February, I didn't post a lot, and then I think I put a video on my pop-up where he called himself a banker, and I thought, oh God, I'm going to probably get my account banned, and that was me. And then people just went mental for it. But the thing is, I then, because I watched certain people's accounts, I then grew confidence, like what you're saying. I did grow confidence that I felt, right, okay, I can make TikToks and on and blah, blah, blah. And in the meantime, and I touched on this on the podcast that's going to be out the week before this one. In fact, I actually cried my eyes out during the podcast. I'm pretty sure you've all seen that. I have had so much hate over the last 2 weeks, and I have had loads of other stuff going on in my life. It has been mentally hard going, and like you're saying, like, see, when people go to the extent of making pages up and writing hate about you, and they're still doing it to this day, it does pull you. But I've been at my lowest and I'm never going to get that low. So if the same people that are want to make these pages about me, probably the same people that jump onto my lives and whatever else and watch these podcasts, they're not going to tear me that far down because I've been at my lowest. Okay, they can say shit about me, whatever they want, but it's pretty sad if you wake up in the morning and have hate in your life instead of love.
So I would definitely say this has been one of the maddest podcasts. I'm hoping there's some messages we've got out.
It's been so bizarre. Like, I don't know. It seems to happen with Paul. It just goes into a bizarre situation.
I quite like it.
Right. Paul.
Yeah.
You can ask me a question now.
Seen you've got about 2 minutes of talking and Paul has got about 40. God.
Well, hurt yourself, Paul.
What would be your... I know I'm going to go back to you because you're a single boy and you're a good-looking guy and that, right? My question isn't do you want a date. My question is, what would be your ideal first date? What would it be? I would like to know that. Just so I get an idea where to take you.
Just take me to KFC drive-through, mate. That's your speciality. You're a celebrity, aren't you?
It needs to be Springburn, though.
That's fine, mate. Stop the road for me. Mate, it's been that long since I've been on a date. And a first date for me taking somewhere, or somebody taking me on a date.
You take them.
You take them. So,
I think on a first date, I've always had the thing. Well, when I go for food with somebody, because some people are quite funny about eating in front of somebody for the first time, and it's always pointless going to the cinema with somebody. Because it's that awkward silence in the dark. Is he going to try and slip a finger? And you're like, well, I've got the popcorn ready for you, hen. I've emptied the bottom half of it out and I've poked it through. You want to dig a bit deeper? So I think if an ideal first date for me, I'd probably like to meet up with somebody somewhere and go for a walk.
So if we all had a message for everybody watching, what would the messages be?
Take your birds for long walks in the woods.
Let's stay away from that. Maybe like mental health. I don't know. Maybe something that's informative. I don't know.
You know, next time Mico and Paul are on this together, I think I'm going to be producing and just sit here no setting, and we'll get somebody else to co-host with Paul because I'm not doing this again.
Fraser, get Fraser to do it next time.
Oh my God.
Oh, right.
Right, my message is right, and I'm now looking at to try and change my mindset as a person, because obviously I've been in. I'm a very positive person, right? But like I said in my live the other night, as a young man, I've seen and been through the worst shit that I ever could think I would ever want to be in. Now, it's also subjective, so I'm not saying my story's worse than yours or I've had more fucking shit than you. What I'm saying is, I've seen some shit. My dad died, my stepdad died. My stepdad died in his sleep. I had to fucking get and lift my mum out the room and drag my sister out and speak to the ambulance men and put him back in the bed because he was blue and dead and gone and stuff. And there's other things that have happened in my life that have been tragic and that I don't like talking about. And what I've done is I've stuck it in a box, I've locked it, and I've thrown it away. And I've locked it as far back in my brain as I possibly could. And that has got me through my teens and my 20s very easily. The physical changes in me as a person now that I'm getting to 40, which is my testosterone levels are dropping. That's a natural thing. Your testosterone levels drop. You become less of a man, and your estrogen levels start to go up. Therefore, you start to be a bit more. I'm starting to become a bit more emotional than what I would have been in my 20s because I just shrugged everything off. And now the demons that I've locked away are starting to come back, and I'm starting to go down a path that I'm not happy with. So I'm obviously doing what I can to help myself, but at the same time, I want to use my experiences to help other people. So I'm going to maybe start looking at doing maybe courses or something that I can maybe do or help other people or do what I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I want to now move away from maybe not even my job, maybe even volunteer. Once I get my demons sorted out, obviously, and get my own headspace sorted, I want to use my experiences and how I've dealt with shit to try and help younger men who do the exact same shit as I've done in my teens and my 20s, which is all the bad shit that's ever happened to you, lock it away and hope it doesn't come back, only to find now I'm reaching 40 and I'm getting to that midlife crisis point where I'm going, my life has been that shit, I've got nothing to show for it, and now all the demons are coming out and going Rah! And fucking with my head. So I want to try and fix them and then use that to help younger men know to do what I've done and make mistakes that I've made and lock everything away, because you really shouldn't, and it's because it's fucking not a nice place to be.
No, it's not. It really isn't. It's not a nice place to be at all, especially in your own head. I'm the same as you, Paul. Up until my little boy came around, normally I just always put things in the pit of my stomach or the back of my head. But see, since my wee boy's been here, I was talking to Paul earlier on. When I try to make my attempts on my life, it's my little boy saved my life, and that has made me kind of take on my demons head on, and also bring him up, and also start opening up about them, and also finding ways to deal with them. Because see, that one of the worst things you can do is stay silent, bottling things up, and just let it take over you. Because when it takes over, it gets to a point where it takes over that much, you feel the best. The only answer is not to be here. That'd be the best result. And once you're in that headspace, it's a lonely place to be. So I'd love for people to know they're not alone, that they can reach out. There's people out there who want to give them a hand, like, want to speak to them and want to help them. Just don't stay silent. That's the one of the biggest killers, is staying silent. Because
But it's talking to people that don't understand, and this is why I want to use my experiences to help people. Because my whole outlook is, I don't want to go and speak to a guy that writes in a notepad. That guy doesn't. That guy might have went to university and studied to listen to people and help them with their problems. But no, what they haven't done, they haven't lived it, because they live in a big fancy house. They've had the most closeted upbringing. They've went to university. Their mum and dad's probably went to university, because that's a stereotypical medical professional. You don't really get many medical professionals in Britain. The ones that come from abroad have maybe had a harder life, but what you'll tend to find is your medical professionals come from either medical families or families that are lawyers and stuff, because they've been built to be that person. So they don't understand. They don't understand what you've went through. The only understanding that they've got is that the person in before them, the person in before you, went through a similar scenario, but they've never lived it. So Matt, talking to Jasper, talking to you, talking to Rossi Roscoe, although I didn't have as hard a life or went into care or done all those things, there were similarities in my upbringing as to what was in their upbringing, and I can relate to some of the stuff that they've done. So that's helped me. So this podcast has helped me. I'm not the type of person who would talk. So really, me coming on and telling you what happened 2 Mondays ago and telling everybody, and for it to go on a podcast recorded is new to me. That's not something that I wouldn't tell anybody. Nobody knows my business. That's how with my ex-wife and everything that's happened between me and her. Everybody knows her side of the story, because she'll tell anybody that listens. Whereas me, I tend to only tell people if they really ask, or if I'm really angry, and it's genuinely an angry version of that story. I don't actually tell MD any details. If people ask me, like, even down to just if I'm spending time with Abby, like maybe when I was with Caitlin have said, "Oh, what did you do with Abby today?" Nothing. Because that's just my response. Like, I don't tend to open up or talk about shit, so I tend to bottle all up. So this talking for me is although it's not a new thing, because I like talking, this talking about the serious shit, I've never done it.
It's a different type of talking. That's how it's a talking you're not used to. It's a talking you don't know how to start the talk, if you know what I mean. For a lot of guys, that is a struggle. They don't know how to start the conversation. They don't want to start the conversation, and in fear of being looked at as in, "Oh, you're fucking man up," or get at it type of thing. So a lot of that's what it is. It's a new way of talking for you, and I was the same when I first started talking about it. It was scary for me.
Talking to a counsellor just doesn't do it for me. Like, it doesn't, because the guy's just listening to you. He's only listening to you. Like, what does it for me is hearing somebody else's story. Like, like I said, with Jasper, hearing his story helped me, because I'm like, oh, aye, that's what. And I was in different parts of his story, I'm picking up on it. Whereas you don't get that relatability with a psychologist or a therapist or whatever. You don't get the same kind of rapport or relatability. So this podcast helped me. I'm enjoying doing this podcast. I'm enjoying doing the serious stuff. What I would say is my everybody's got a barrier. Mine's is about a mile thick. Mine's is about a mile thick, and it's just, Paul, make the conversation as dirty as you can, try and be as funny as you can, and then nobody will see how broken you are. And that's where I'm at. That's
your coping mechanism for it. That's where you mask it and where you hide it, is through sexual innuendo and humour.
Yep.
For a lot of people, you always find the happiest people and the kind of funniest people, the ones that get the darkest demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've all got them. We've all got our own demons as well. We've all got, you know what I mean? We've all had a kind of, at some point, every single one of us have had a kind of shit upbringing, whether we're young, in our teens or in our 20s. But it's how we deal with them, isn't it? It's how we kind of deal with those events that try and kind of define who you are.
Yeah. I mean, obviously for me, like I've spoken on here, like the one and only thing that I'll say is that I'm happy that I've got a following on the basis that, not for anything majorly, but on this one basis that I can hopefully get a message to people who need that message on either mental health or domestic violence. Obviously I've been through both of these. Through domestic violence, that plummeted my mental health. And if there was something that I could do, that would be the main. I said this to Fraser when you first interviewed me the very first time, and I said, you know, I would happily give support and speak to anybody who's been in these situations that feels that, you know, they need signposted, or, you know, how can I talk about it? Or the first thing to do when talking about something is to accept it, and it's really hard to accept something when it's that personal to you. And because you don't want to accept that that's been like, for me, I didn't want to accept things because I was ashamed that I'd got to that stage. But like what you're saying is, you know, if you do talk about it and not stay silent, one, it does get easier because you are able to then talk about it more and hopefully help other people and get a wider scope of people that you can help. But two, the people that don't want to talk about it, you can kind of advocate, and although they might not want to talk about it, the fact that they watch your videos or listen to what you're saying, or, you know, whether it's a video on mental health, domestic violence, if they're repeatedly seeing it over and over again, they hear your story, maybe just one day they'll have enough strength to go, okay, I'm going to walk away from this and I'm going to get the help I need. And that's why I make the videos I make on mental health and domestic violence, because for me, I had to build myself back up. And I built myself up. I'd like to think that I built it up in a sense that I've then went and got myself an education. I'm in the job that I'm in, but I couldn't have done that when I was in the relationship I was in previously, because one, well, he wouldn't have let that, and two, I wasn't in the right mind frame. I was so low that I wanted to end my life. I've told my mum and my dad and things, my family, like I used to want to get in my car and just drive it into a wall and end everything. And it just wasn't me. I lost a sense of identity. So if you begin to think that you're losing a sense of your identity, that's when you need to seriously consider, well, how do I change this? And it's hard to sometimes get these changes into your life, but hopefully, you know, using my videos or any, you know, you and Paul's videos that can relate to someone. And as you said, like, if you can relate to someone, because we all have had our difficulties, nobody has got a perfect life or a perfect story. Nobody in this world, to the simple point that even if it's a grief, everybody will experience grief in their life. So you might if you're sitting there thinking, well, I've no got anything to share, you'll have had somebody you've lost that you've grieved for, and that's your story.
It's subjective. It's subjective. Your mum can die, and it's the worst thing that's ever happened, right? And somebody else can have their mum, their dad, and everybody in their life, but it's their dog that dies. But they still feel the same grief because it's subjective. You can't, and this is where you get a lot of people who can't empathise with other people because they go, my dad. I'm going to put myself in this bracket. I cannot empathise with people. I'm not empathetic. I can't sympathise when people die because I watched my dad die when I was 18. I've had to live without my dad for this length of time. So, see if somebody tells me their dog died, I won't be nasty about it, but inside, I can't understand why they're so upset, and that's because my brain just doesn't kind of process that properly, and that's probably one of my issues, and it's probably one of the scars that I've gathered over time because of what I've seen and everything else. But at the same time, I know, although I know logically that is subjective, and I understand that people are going to be upset, but I just can't process that the same way as a normal person. Like I'm not going to lie.
Also, you've had to deal with, like you say, Paul, your dad dying at an early age. So from an early age, you've had to deal with a major loss that some of us might not kind of experience until late in my life. So I think it's because you've dealt with that major loss so early on. There's nothing else that's going to compare to that to yourself, if you know what I mean. And also, like you said, your stepdad as well. So when it comes to like someone saying their dog's died and they've been upset, yeah, that might be a major thing in their life. Their dog has died. But to you, you're subjectively, well, my dad died when I was really young. There's nothing any more major than going to be in that is losing a parent or losing a child, God forbid. So I think that's probably another reason why you say you can't sympathise, because you've been through it at such an early age.
Aye, but I do understand.
Everybody can relate to, like, there's various things that I can bring to something, that you can bring to something, Mico, that Paul can bring to something. And I think this is a good thing about, you know, coming on here and or on TikTok or anywhere. If I could go into things like schools, like you asked me this before, Fraser, and I said this, like, if there was a way that you could go in and talk about, you know, these experiences, because in schools, you know, especially now, with social media out there, and we kind of touched on this before, Paul, when we were at school, and you'll be the same, Mico, when we were at school, there wasn't this social media, and it is harder because there's no escape now, and I think if you get real people that actually go in and speak about something, you know, you can relate to it, and that is about what you're saying about it's not about some, you know, professor with a notebook and saying, well, how did you feel about that dinner yet 3 days ago? It's about saying, right, well, this is my story. Maybe there's one piece of that you can take and you can go, Jesus, I actually felt that way, and that's when you know at that point I can speak out and go and get help somewhere. And to me, that's what's most important with me with using social media.
I know. I was thinking about it all night, and you're going to have to jump through hoops, right? But imagine we could get something like, you could do this with schools, right? You could do it with schools, or you could do it with after schools or groups or whatever. But it's social, no media. So basically, you try and get groups of kids together who come from other wee cliques. You've got your so-called nerds, your so-called hard nuts, your so-called cool group and whatever else, right? And you take them away from social media. So what you're doing is just to do. Remember, you used to go camping and you used to do all these wonderful things, and you would go with this. You'd either join the scouts or you join the cadets or something, but that's not cool.
The boys' brigade and things like that.
But what happens is kids now, they spend all day in front of a screen, and it is medically proven that if you spend an excess amount of time in front of a screen, it negatively affects the chemicals in your brain, and your brain just does not chemically work properly anymore. It doesn't function like a normal human brain should, because you're just vegging out constantly. Couple that with the need to keep up with the Joneses, i.e., if your pal's got an iPhone 11 and you don't because you're poorer, and everything else, right? So start a charity, social, no media, and you start doing things with kids and taking them away. But the hoops you need to jump through these days to even be allowed to do that is fucking horrendous, because of the BBC and everybody else that decided to do not so nice things to kids back in the day. So the things that you need to do to jump through hoops, but that would be an ideal situation. My ideal thing would be if I could get paid for it. If I could get paid enough money so that I didn't need to work, I would just put my full energy into getting kids away from a computer screen, and that would be amazing, because mental health in kids is horrendous, and it's because everything that they do involves a screen. If they're watching telly, they're on their phone, they're on a computer, they're on an iPad, and the majority of their day is taken up by screen time.
When was the last time away playing Kirby or Chappie?
You know, I loved Kirby. God, I loved
There's no room for Kirby now. There's no room in a street for Kirby. Fucking I can't get my
Yeah.
car parked in a fucking street, never mind play Kirby.
It's not that. You used to see Wayne's out building dens all the time, or out playing Kirby. Well, that's what I used to do. As a wee guy, we'd go out. As soon as I got into school, I'd go get changed and go way back out, building dens, playing football, playing Kirby, playing Chappie. You'd be out until you heard your ma screaming your name, or you go,
Yep.
Like, the street lights on, I better get home for my dinner, or ask me in for the night. No, it's just too much.
After school club. See, after school clubs, the maidens just get to sit on their phones. If they're older maidens, they get to sit. So the mums and dads are at their work. The kids just sit in the after school club on their phones until the mums come home. I would love to start an after school club where you fucking actually do stuff. Like, I remember doing knots, just knots now. I'm not going to lie, I was in the Sea Cadets when I was younger, the Marine Cadets and stuff. And I went kayaking. I got my kayaking qualifications. I got my powerboating qualifications. I went away for camp. I knew how to do all the knots. And just daft things like tying knots and stuff like that. I couldn't tell you how to do them now because I've been that long away from it. But I went back there as an instructor. So when I left the army, I went back to my local cadets as an instructor, and I hated it because the fucking hoops, the politics, everything that you need to jump through to get these kids outside and doing stuff is horrendous because of the way health and safety is and the way everything is now. You just can't have an organised event for kids without absolutely jumping through hoops, and it's horrendous. So you're not allowed out to play because you're not allowed to loiter or hang about the streets, but you can't create an environment for kids to play in without jumping through so many political and health and safety hoops. It's horrendous.
Disclosure and that as well, and things like that.
And then Fraser will spend 2 weeks. Fraser will spend 2 weeks fucking cutting shit out.
At least.
No, we can say goodbye, and like Mico can promote his page for everybody to go follow him.
He's doing there. He's under me.
Get a sneaky ball out, Fraser, before I go. And I count of 3 with me, you and Paul just do a sneaky ball.
I don't know where he is. I'm fucking always terrified.
I'm in a street, man. There's folk who see me doing it.
Right, so what we'll do
is...
is...
when you're live?
Mico, what's...
I'm outside the boys' brigade.
Mico, that's what you need. Maybe you need Fraser to make you a sound saying that about Sneaky Buzz.
I could make you a sound.
That's one thing I don't have. I don't even have a sound. I don't think I've got actual a catchphrase myself to do that. Apart from it's Mico, Sneaky Ball.
I'm just going to take that and make you a sound. There you go. You've done it. I'll send you over.
I can't make a sound with my signature move because my signature move is my pout.
You could always do the sound. You could just be...
No, it's a Zoom call for a couple.
TikTok friends.
That's my mom.
So what are your pages, Mico, that people can get you on?
It's Mico is back.
Mico is back.
Aye.
Right,
Mico is back. That's my new one.
Right, we're going to end the podcast slightly different this time. And Paula, you can keep your eyes shut or you're not. After 3, the boys are all going to do Sneaky Buzz. Right, you ready?
I can't.
3, 2, 1. Oh, look. Oh, the video cut off. That's a shame.
Well, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Yay! Right, guys, thanks very much.
We should have interviewed your mum. We should ask your mum what she thinks the perfect woman is for you, Mico.
Ma.
Oh, no.
Mother. Come here quickly. Hurry up.
What's her name?
Margaret. I was getting interviewed for a podcast.
Hi, Margaret.
Yeah, Margaret.
What do you think the perfect woman is for Mico? If you had to pick the perfect woman for your son?
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry?
I like Katy Perry.
I think they're probably not just looks, like personality.
Oh, personality? Well, I don't know, because he's had a couple of belters. I'm talking belters. That the mother didn't approve of.
He's got loads of women that look over him on TikTok and fancy the pants off him. So, I mean, it's to see if you would approve or not approve of him.
What can I say? Look, I went to Turkey and I battered them for a £300 bed set, and the lassie's prepared to wrap herself in it and transport herself just so she can have my son. But I'm getting a £300 bed set, please. Is that no a deal? No?
That's a deal, by the way.
It's £300 for a bed set. I'm getting it free.
Your mum's pimped you out for £300, Michael. I'm going to call you by your Sunday name.
I feel like who?
Well, girls, any girls out there that can do better than a £300 bed set, I'm up for a challenge.
On that note, we'll say to you bye.
Bye.
Oh, excellent,
See you
guys.
Guys, bye.